best in the world of sports. I'm Diego Daria.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. In tonight's game plan, we'll take a look at what lies ahead in the epic matchup between the TNT Tropang Giga and the San Miguel Beermen in the finals of the 2022 PBA Philippine Cup.
And we'll also talk about the return of men's volleyball in the Spikers turf as Cignal continues their winning ways. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The TNT Tropang Giga and San Miguel Beermen are tied at 2-2 in the PBA Philippine Cup Finals. Now, the winner of this game will be one more victory away from taking the crown. Let's break down what it takes to win game number 5. Pero bago yan, i-update muna tayo ni Dip. Kamusta na ba ang game ngayon?
Right. Before you break it down, Jegs, of course, there's a game ongoing right now, Game 5. At ang score natin at the halftime, lamang ang TNT Tropang Giga by 3 points. So, close match so
Always
far.
a close
53 to 50. Now we get to start the discussion ngayon, Diego. You will put on your analyst hat.
Analyst
Tayo lang
hat
naman yung
muna
kailangan
tayo.
dito for this conversation. I'll be the anchor and ask you questions. So, Diego, can you talk to us muna? How important is winning a Game 5 in the best of 7 series?
Well, as mentioned earlier, right, it's 2-2. Basically, it's a virtual best of 3 series right now between these two very talented teams. Now, whoever loses this ball game, medyo may pressure na sa kanila in trying to stay alive in the series. As, you know, alam naman natin na whoever wins this will take that 3-2 lead. And for the next game, very crucial for the trailing team na, you know, they're gonna be a little bit tight na bawal magkamali dito. I have to get everything to force a Game 7, right? So, this Game 5 is very pivotal when you look at the big picture of this series.
Siyempre, kung sino yung matalo, they'll have their backs against the wall. And if we go back to 2021, when they faced each other in the semis of the Philippine Cup, Game 5, nakuha yan ng TNT, who eventually won the series in Game number 7. So, crucial talaga yung Game number 5. But, sige na, pag-usapan na natin yan kung gaano importante yung Game 5. What makes these teams special and how do you think each of them can take this game number 5?
Well, first of all, let's talk about San Miguel's depth and talent. Basically, I would say that they're the most talented team in the league. You know, when you look at their second unit, third unit, pwedeng maging first unit yun sa ibang teams. If you know, mention sila Mo Tautua, CJ Perez, sometimes he comes off the bench. Pero when you talk about San Miguel, anyone can be a weapon. Yes, Junmar Fajardo won best player of the conference, but any other night, any player can score and be a weapon for San Miguel. Pero for TNT naman, yung hot shooting nila Although, you know, talent-wise, maybe mas lamang ang San Miguel. Pero when you talk about TNT, when they're making their shots, they're very tough to beat. Especially yung outside shots nila Castro, nila Pogoy, and syempre, sila Mikey Williams.
Okay, let's zone in on the few players, some of these few players from each team. Nabanggit mo for San Miguel, anyone can explode at any given time. But what about CJ Perez's performance? Specifically, first finals appearance ito in the PBA.
Well, when you talk about CJ Perez, you know, when he started this PBA career, medyo ang tingin natin sa kanya, you know, he's just athletic, he can score a lot of points. Pero nakikita natin dito sa San Miguel, what he can do aside from scoring. He can defend the best players on the other team, and he can complement. Hindi niya kailangan yung bola all the time because, you know, the ball will go to Junmar's hands and maybe Chris Ross and the other players of San Miguel. Si CJ, kaya niya, he can cut off the ball, he can play catch and shoot. So that's what's great about CJ Perez. It's his versatility as a player.
Parang walang kaba si CJ Perez sa first finals appearance niya. We've talked about Junmar time and again, but how about another player from the San Miguel Beermen? One of their newest additions in Jericho Cruz. Siya ngayon yung leading scorer, by the way, at the half with 11 points. Kamusta yung performance niya for San Miguel?
Well, Jericho Cruz has been this guy ever since. You know, when he was playing for NLEX, he would score 20 points in any given night. Siyempre, minsan, he would share the limelight with the other players. Pero dito sa San Miguel, medyo mas napadali yung trabaho niya because he has teammates like, again, Junmar Fajardo, you have Marshall Lassiter. Now, for Jericho Cruz, ang gagawin na lang niya is basically if he's open, he's gonna take a shot. He doesn't have to create a lot of opportunities for his team.
Okay, lipat tayo sa kabila, sa TNT Tropang Giga. Alam din natin kung gaano kagaling si Mikey Williams, but so far he's been struggling with his shot. Pogoy has been there, but I want to zone in on Jason Castro, the veteran, the blur, na hindi pa rin na, kumbaga, sobrang galing pa rin niya kahit ganito na yung how many years na siya naglalaro sa PBA.
Alam mo, minsan medyo nag-hurt ako pag sinasabi nila na Jason Castro medyo nagre-relax lang.
Yeah.
Hindi na siya ganun, parang he's not the best point guard in Asia. But
Yeah.
he's showing to us here in the finals kung gaano siya ka-importante dito sa TNT Tropang Giga. I would say Mikey Williams is probably the best scorer in their
Okay.
team, but I would say Jason Castro is their best closer. When it matters, when it's the fourth quarter time, everyone knows that it's Jason Castro holding the ball and he will make the decisions for his team.
Sino pa yung mga tingin mong X-factors ng TNT Tropang Giga aside from, of course, Williams, Pogoy, and Jason Castro?
Well, I think very important is the front court of TNT. You have
Yeah.
Kelly Williams, you have, Poy Eram, who will try to stop and slow down Junmar Fajardo. I don't think you can stop a guy like Junmar Fajardo, but you can only slow down Junmar Fajardo. So very important yun
Yeah.
if they want to get this pivotal Game 5 against San Miguel.
All right, let's go back to the series. No, 2-all TNT San Miguel, and of course, alam natin, 2 of those games wherein TNT lost, wala si Coach Chot Reyes
Yeah.
because he was, of course, doing his duties as the head coach of Gilas Pilipinas, which galing tayo sa panalo, di ba,
Yep.
against Saudi Arabia. But right now, makaka-full focus na si Coach Chot Reyes sa TNT. How does that impact yung performance ng TNT Tropang Giga?
Well, I'm sure first of all kay Coach Chot, congratulations. Pero kay Coach Chot, makaka-focus na siya in trying to get another championship here for TNT. They're the defending champs dito sa Philippine Cup. Pero I think as a player, I would say, I don't think it will change much when it comes to the system. They
Yeah.
will run the same sets, they will have the same game plan because the assistant coaches are always there, whether or not Coach Chot is the head coach or not. Pero I think the only difference here is Coach Chot trying to motivate these players, telling them how important this Game 5 is to, have an advantage dito sa series na to against SMB.
Great points as always, Diego Dario, and 24 minutes left to play in the ball game. Abangan natin kung ano mangyari sa game number 5.
It's gonna be very exciting.
Right. And you can catch the game live happening right now on TV5, One Sports, and PBA Rush. And after the break, we will hear from the Cignal HC Spikers as men's volleyball makes its return in the Spikers turf. Stay tuned, you're watching the game.
Welcome back to the game. Cignal is off to a hot start in the Spikers Turf Open Conference. Now, despite the 3-year break, the HD Spikers continued their winning ways and had a successful comeback in the Commercial League. To talk more about this, we have with us Marck Espejo and Manuel Sumanguid III. Good evening and welcome to the game, mga idol. Kamusta? Alam ko
Hi,
nasa
guys.
practice kayo ngayon, pero hiramin muna namin kayo saglit.
Hello po, good evening.
Ganun sila ka-dedicated, Jegs.
Oo.
Na nasa practice sila, kakausapin pa nila tayo.
Ito yung water break nila, itong show na to. Pero let's talk about the return, of course, of Spikers Turf. Una kay Sumang muna tayo. Sumang, how does it feel to play your first game in a commercial league after 3 years? Grabe, men's volleyball is really back.
Actually, we are very, very grateful na finally may men's volleyball na liga dito sa bansa. We played yung SEA Games but iba pa rin pag naglalaro ko sa crowd na puro Pinoy talaga. And yeah, we are very, very excited on what lies ahead in this tournament. So, yeah.
Okay, how about you, Mark? Of course, you played internationally this pandemic already. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, it's your first game back in the country with the Cignal HD Spikers. And already, nakakuha kayo ng panalo kahapon. So, kamusta yung pakiramdam that you're back playing with the Cignal team?
Of course po, sobrang happy naman po ako na ni-represent po yung Cignal ngayong Spikers Turf. And hindi lang naman ako happy pati Cignal, happy rin ako sa mga kapwa ko rin players na sobrang tagal na hinintay itong Spikers Turf. Though, ako kasi active kami ni Brian sa abroad. Pero sobrang happy ko na hindi lang kami mga players, pati yung fans na hinihintay nila yung mga idols nila, yung mga teams na gusto nilang i-root sa Spikers Turf, nandyan ulit para maglaro.
Pero yung game nyo, parang di naman kayo nag 3-year break. Again, just to remind the fans, you guys won against Santa Rosa Lions in straight sets. And that is your 14th straight win if you go back to the 2019 conference of the Spikers Turf, right? So grabe, ang lakas ng preparations niyo siguro for sure, and that's what I want to go to now. Paano naman yung pag-prepare niyo going into this conference of Spikers Turf, Sumang?
Actually, di kami tumigil kahit nag-pandemic. Nagkaroon kami ng online trainings 2020 to 2021, and then nag-start yung core training namin ng mas maaga. So, yeah, we are very, very grateful din naman sa management who stayed with us. So, yung preparation namin, ginagawa namin yung best namin in every drill, in every reps. So, yeah.
And so, for sure, the other teams are also practiced and also trained during that break. Meron ba kayong mga special na ginawa? Maybe more team bonding nung off-season? Kasi ang ganda ng pinakita nyo in the first game.
I think chemistry na lang din yung nagdala sa amin when nagkakapit-pitan sa loob ng court. Teammates sa amin ni Marck since college pa lang, and
High school.
high school din.
Pa.
Yeah, so si Marasigan din, si Intal. So, yeah, yung chemistry ng team na to is really solid, and yun yung panghawakan namin till the end of this conference.
Alright, lipat tayo kay Mark. Of course, nabanggit nyo, the preparations were there, hindi kayo tumigil sa pag-training. Pero syempre, first competitive game nyo, when the lights are on, may camera na ulit, may fans, di ba? Is it the same type of performance na in-expect nyo or may konting rust na doon sa laro ninyo kahapon?
Sa akin, personally,
Wala ata eh.
siguro, feel ko sa mga teammates ko rin and coaches na happy kami na nalo kami kahapon, pero parang hindi ako satisfied or hindi kami satisfied sa results kasi syempre hindi kami after sa panalo. Parang titignan din namin yung performance namin as an individual player. So, para malaman din namin kung saan kami mag-improve. Pero, yun, parang may kulang pa sa team na hindi natin napakita kahapon. And I'm sure sa today na training namin, ma-realize namin kung ano yung mga pagkukulang namin. And throughout sa conference na to, sana mapakita namin kung ano pa yung tunay na Cignal team.
And that's the champion mindset, no? Kahit na first game pa lang, Jegs. sa loob nila, meron silang i-improve. Hindi sila happy sa performance
Yeah, that's the winning mindset.
despite the 3-set win. But can you tell us more about your team? Sino ba yung mga bagong additions na pwede nating abangan in the coming games for Cignal?
Ayun, yung bago namin si Jewel Asia, siya yung starting namin, siya yung first setter namin, and si Edward na galing Tantele na NU. Di ba? Si Louis Ramirez na galing Perps, siya yung ace player ng Perps ngayon, and sino ba? Si Kuya Pete, kakabalik from sa injury last conference, and then yun lang naman ata. Yun.
And I'm sure aabangan ng lahat ng fans yan, no? Lahat ng binanggit mo na players. I'm of course, kasi you guys are the defending champs. Now for Sumang, what's your message to the fans? Invite them also kailan ang next game nyo?
To the fans, please support not just Cignal but the whole Spikers Turf Conference this month of September until October 1st in Paco Arena. We are very, very excited to see you all live, and go out, go to the arena and see some men's volleyball action.
And there you have it, Manuel Sumanguid III and Marck Espejo. Sumang, Mark, thank you so much for your time,
Idols.
and good luck sa susunod niyong laro.
Thank you po!
And you can catch the Spikers Turf games every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Now, when we return, we'll find out more about the impact of the return of men's volleyball in Philippine sports. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. You're still watching The Game. Now that we heard from the players, let's continue to find out what else we could expect in the Spikers turf. Joining us now is volleyball analyst Doc AJ Pareja, who I must say, maganda yung content ni Doc AJ sa TikTok and
Oh, and
Instagram.
I'm loving the setup, no? Ang ganda
Oh.
na. Very professional to si Doc AJ.
Saka educational yung mga
I like it, I
tinuturo
like
sa
it.
kanila. Good evening and welcome to the game, Doc AJ.
Hi, Diego. Hi, Dip. Nice to be here.
Right,
Again.
Doc, simulan natin yung usapan natin for men's volleyball. Of course, ang dami ng sports na bumalik, no? This pandemic, you had basketball, women's volleyball, even football. But right now, it's men's volleyball's turn to be back in action. What does this mean for the men's volleyball community and ano yung impact ng pagbalik ng Spikers turf?
Well, one glaring thing na masasabi natin is the impact of the pandemic is yung missing out on a podium finish nung SEA Games for the men's division. No? Because when we had our silver medal in 2019, it was, tuloy-tuloy yung Spikers turf and talagang walang tigil yung mga laro ng men's team. So it could have been a factor with our missing out do sa podium finish. So hopefully tuloy-tuloy na ito as we gear up for another SEA Games next year.
And Doc AJ, kanina na-mention ng mga Cignal players, specifically sila Marck and sila Sumang, na medyo may giggle pa, medyo may rust pa as men's volleyball officially comes back here in the Philippines. You as an analyst, paano kaya nila yun maaayos? Or is it just a matter of time where makukuha na nila yung the usual way they play?
Yeah, it's basically just going through the tournament itself. We saw some parang slow start from Cignal in yesterday's game, no? But they were able to close in the match in the usual Cignal fashion. So as the games move forward, so I expect that all teams will be able to up their game as the tournament goes on.
Right, Doc AJ, meron ng 4 teams na naglaro kahapon ng Spikers turf and another set of teams will see action tomorrow. Sino yung mga ine-expect mo that will shine in this league? Or sino na yung mga nakita mo kahapon that played well in the league?
Yeah, it's gonna be a cop-out. I-mention ko yung Cignal, like si Sumang at si Marck.
And syempre, old team mo rin yan, Doc AJ, diba? Yeah.
But for me, some players na will be on the spotlight against, syempre si Umandal. He's with the Navy, if I'm not mistaken, and he has been a good foundation for the national team. Ang laki ng improvement niya. He was able to take on the shoes that Ranran Abdilla left for when he transitioned to beach volleyball. Then another one is si Ben San Andres na sobrang such a joy to watch despite yung height difference niya from all the rest of the players, pero grabe yung athleticism, grabe yung talon, grabe yung wits. And of course, for me, my number 3 pick will be probably the most underappreciated player still is si Vince Magulabnan, who is setting for the young ones ng Ateneo. So for me, I've always said that Vince is the most underappreciated setter na I'm yet to see him sa national team, and hopefully that one day it will happen.
And Doc AJ, one guy that stood out also in that first opening day of the Spikers turf, of course, si Ish Polvorosa, he's an analyst also here in the game. He was also your former teammate. Can you talk about his performance? He had 29 excellent set in that 5-set thriller.
Yeah, si Ish, a good friend of mine talaga. Talagang impressive yung outing niya yesterday. Maybe a little axe to grind or parang lang healthy competition with the young ones from Ateneo. But because of his familiarity with the system of Ateneo, he knew how to split the blocks. He knew how to exploit the defense of Ateneo. That's why maganda yung ball distribution niya and leading to the win of his team, VNS.
Right, Doc AJ, wanna zone in on a couple of teams. Of course, this is the open conference of Spikers turf, di ba? Pero merong teams such as Santa Rosa and Ateneo, mga younger players ito. Gaano ka importante yung development nila when it comes to joining leagues against players who play professionally or, of course, internationally as well?
Yeah, and I'm always a proponent, or I always believe that it's grassroots that will help elevate the level of volleyball in the country. Even if a lot of us veteran players are enjoying the limelight in a way, but it's with these young guns talaga who will pave the way for a good finish internationally. So hopefully na mabigyan pa ng exposure and avenues for training and playing tong mga mas batang players and to be able to join the national team also. Para ngayon pa lang, bata pa lang, before they reach the prime of their bodies, is talagang hasana sila sa experience for international tournaments.
And Doc AJ, ikaw mismo may experience ka playing here in the Spikers Turf, actually part of the champion team that won it back in 2019. Can you explain to the fans, maybe mga bagong fans na nanonood, kung how exciting and how talented these players are in the Spikers Turf?
Yeah. When I played for Cignal, it was my sukan song. I'm not primed na for indoor. I was training for beach volleyball already. So I'm just amazed how indoor players are so fast, are so explosive, are so athletic, and yun lang. Nung naglaro ako for Cignal noon, there were times na medyo sumasakit na yung tuhod. Hindi na ako sanay sa hard court, but even now, when I watch indoor volleyball, parang grabe, nagagawa pa nila yan.
But still was very
yeah.
effective. And of course, si Doc AJ always effective. And also here as an analyst dito sa Spikers Turf. And Doc AJ, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Diego. Thank you, Dip.
Thank you, Doc AJ, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Diego Dario, and this has been The Game.